This video is sponsored by Carnivore Companion. Check out our newly released seasoning Steak Dust, along with our flagship seasoning Smokestack and our bestseller Tuck Collagen. Use the code CCYouTube10 at CarnivoreCompanion.com to save 10% off your first order. Hey there, my meaty friends. This is Reed, aka CarnivorousChef, aka Cheesy Peasy Lemon Squeezy. Do you ever have severe cravings for something that you suddenly realize you haven't had in a while? I did, and that craving was mozzarella sticks. I'm sure you know what I'm going to do here. And you're correct. I'm going to coat cheese in pork rinds. I thought this was going to be a super easy one to make too, but it's more finicky than I was expecting. Come along with me and see what I did here. Whoa, where am I? Where are all the stainless tables, and why does it feel kind of like a dungeon? Weird. For these cheese sticks, we're going to use string cheese. I'm only doing this because I don't feel like cutting cheese logs. Feel free to cut your own cheese if you want to. Like I said, I'm definitely using pork rinds, but I'll also be using wisps. The idea of breading cheese with more cheese just made me feel too excited to not give it a try. Just throw these into a food processor or blender and grind them into crumbs for a cheesy panko. Let's get our bag of ground wisps and pork rinds into two separate bowls. I used about 6 ounces of ground pork rinds for 8 to 10 cheese sticks. To the wisps, add in 1/4 teaspoon of Italian seasoning, and to the pork rinds, add in 1/2 teaspoon of Italian seasoning. You don't have to add this if you don't want to, but it's definitely going to give your cheese sticks that familiar flavor. Mix both of these up and let's get our wash ready. Crack in 2 eggs and pour in 1/2 cup of heavy cream into a bowl. Give this a healthy whisking. Finally, we need to have something to catch these breaded cheeses on. So place a plate at the head of the line here. Grab a cheese and slap it into your cream mixture. I think I'll go the wisp ones first as it's definitely the wild card. When you make mozzarella sticks with normal breadcrumbs, you usually double coat with the crumbs. I tried this with the wisps, and after doing it, it's not worth it. First off, it's really hard to get them to stick, and second, I pretty much use an entire bag of wisps on a single cheese stick. It's kind of mind-boggling, but pretty cool at the same time if you ask me. Since I didn't learn my lesson with the wisps, let's just go ahead and double coat one of these with pork rinds too. Same thing, everything just kind of wanted to peel off. But I got it on, and for the rest I'm just going to give them a single coating. Ah yes, much better. Okay, I won't bore you and finish the rest of these up off screen, but that means it's time to fry. Today I am using ghee, mostly because it was the most affordable oil I was willing to fry in. But it also added a fantastic flavor I wasn't expecting. In a pan, add in about 1.5 cups of ghee or fat and bring to about 325 degrees Fahrenheit. I achieved my heat by setting it to medium-low. You could test the oil by dropping in a little of your clumped up pork rind mixture and see if it sizzles. If it does, you can now carefully lay these into your oil away from you. If there's any exposed cheese, it'll likely leak out a bit, but it'll also create its own crust. Let this cook on one side for about 1 minute before gently turning. If it's stuck to the bottom of the pan, carefully scrape it off with your tongs or a heat-proof spatula. These should take no longer than 2 minutes to cook. Carefully remove them from the pan and allow to drain on paper towels. If you have any of that break on you when taking them out, that's your surprise to yourself now. Enjoy it, you don't get many. The best thing about these is that they stayed crispy the entire time. I think the ghee had something to do with that. Once they're cooked, plate them up and give them a sexual cheese pull. I'm going to eat this first one for my Patreon community. If you're looking for a way to support me, this is a great way to do so. The link's in the description below. Yep, that's just a straight up tasty mozzarella stick, and I'm super stoked on it. Let's taste this cheese on cheese action next. I was honestly a little bit stunned by this because of how it tasted. It basically tasted like Cheez-Its with a gooey center. I bet you'd taste like Cheez-Its with a gooey center too if you liked the video and subscribe to the channel.